So for the last few years, it's really felt like PlayStation and Xbox have been in a type of battle to try to acquire the most game developers and companies, as they've been making big announcements like PlayStation acquiring Bungie and Xbox acquiring Activision and Blizzard, but it's also led to some disappointing announcements too, like most recently, Xbox basically had to shut down Tango Gameworks, which was responsible for Hi-Fi Rush, and that was considered to be one of the best games that came out last year. A lot of people really liked it and was really looking forward to seeing what other things that studio was going to produce, and now we just got the announcement that that whole Xbox studio was basically being shut down and they're not going to be able to make even a sequel, which they were trying to do for Hi-Fi Rush. So it was some very disappointing news. But when all of this was happening, we were definitely wondering, was Nintendo going to do any type of acquisition? Was Nintendo going to be trying to acquire new companies or anything like that? And Nintendo, for the most part, doesn't really participate in stuff like that, and that's honestly for the best because they don't really need to. Nintendo does do acquisitions though when they feel like it's necessary and something that they feel like they can earn and gain from it, as of course Nintendo has done acquisitions, and one of the biggest ones that I really loved Nintendo for doing was acquiring Monolith Soft way back in 2007, as Monolith Soft since then has become one of Nintendo's most prominent studios, helping them in some of their biggest games like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and of course making some of the best RPGs on the Nintendo Switch being the Xenoblade games. So it's really nice to see Nintendo do these types of acquisitions. And most recently, Nintendo just made the announcement for their latest acquisition, which seems like it's actually a pretty big announcement for what this could mean for their upcoming brand new system and the next generation with Nintendo Switch 2. Now the big thing is that this isn't some big studio that you've probably heard about before. It's actually one that I feel like you probably won't know, and it's called Shiver Entertainment. So Nintendo released this official press release where they give the formal announcement of everything, so we can take a look right here, and it says here, notice of the acquisition of Shiver Entertainment Incorporated. Nintendo Kyoto President Shintaro Furukawa hereby announces that it's entered into agreement with Embracer Group to acquire 100% of the outstanding shares of Shiver Entertainment. Its headquarters are in Miami, Florida, and it says right here, purpose of acquisition. Shiver is a video game development company that develops software for multiple platforms including Nintendo Switch. Since its establishment in 2012, Shiver has partnered with publishers and developers through commissions for large-scale title developments, and recently has worked on porting and developing software titles such as Hogwarts Legacy and Mortal Kombat 1. Nintendo will acquire 100% of the outstanding shares of Shiver and make it a wholly owned subsidiary. By welcoming Shiver's experienced and accomplished development team, Nintendo aims to secure high-level resources for porting and developing software titles. Going forward, even after it becomes a part of the Nintendo Group, Shiver's focus will remain the same, continuing commissions that port and develop software for multiple platforms, including Nintendo Switch. The acquisition will be completed pending satisfaction of all relevant customary closing conditions. So yeah, that's basically the announcement. It seems like Nintendo has acquired Shiver Entertainment, which is a game company that is based in Miami, Florida, and it seems like they're a very small company because I couldn't even find a Wikipedia page that really goes into their history and talking about it, so it's kind of hard to actually find information about this company, but I did manage to find this page here where we can see some of the games that they've helped with and worked on. And so here we've got Mortal Kombat 1, we've got Mortal Kombat 11, Scribblenauts Mega Pack, and then also Scribblenauts Showdown, and then in that announcement where Nintendo announced the acquisition, they also talked about how they helped with Hogwarts Legacy. So these are the types of games that they've worked on for the Nintendo Switch. And of course, some people might meme about the fact that Mortal Kombat 1 looked really stupid when it first came to Nintendo Switch. There was a lot of memes about how bad the graphics were and everything. But the funny thing is I've actually heard that there's been a lot of patches and work that's been done to Mortal Kombat 1 on the Nintendo Switch since that initial release. And of course, obviously it's still not matching what it looks like on PlayStation 5 or anything like that, but I have heard that they have tried really hard to make it look better and have better visual effects and everything for the Nintendo Switch version, and that's definitely nice to hear. The Mortal Kombat 11 port I actually heard was really good when that first came out in 2019, so that's really nice to see. And then of course Scribblenauts is nice to have as well. That's actually a pretty nostalgic game because I remember having it on the DS. But the point here is that this is a nice acquisition for Nintendo because this is basically going to be now a subsidiary that is going to help them with porting these types of games, porting third-party games that they potentially would want to have on Nintendo systems. and it's really easy to see, but I'm telling you right now, one of the biggest things that the studio is going to help Nintendo with is porting games and bringing them to the Nintendo Switch 2 with their next generation system, as they've already made the announcement that the system is going to be revealed within their fiscal year, and we know that it's going to be coming out most likely some point next year, and it's going to be their next generation system. And going off of all the rumors and things that we have about it so far, this is going to be a considerable leap in performance and power. It's using some cutting edge technology with the Nintendo Switch 2, and that honestly means it's going to open the floodgates for what types of games can actually come to the Nintendo Switch 2. And I feel like the Nintendo Switch was already kind of surprising when it first came out, to kind of see games like Doom Eternal and also other types of games just running on the Nintendo Switch, but I feel like the Switch 2 is going to be even more surprising at what types of games you're going to see get announced for that system. And that's why I feel like having a studio like this, which can really help some of these third-party games come to the Nintendo Switch 2, I feel like we're definitely going to see kind of the effect of a studio like this and this acquisition really come through with that next system. And we honestly might get a lot of Shiver Entertainment helped games that come to the Nintendo Switch 2, but for a lot of impressive third-party ports where you're like, wow, I just never would have thought that that game would have come to a Nintendo system. And I feel like that's definitely going to be something that we're going to see with the Nintendo Switch 2. So if honestly, if they can get Hogwarts Legacy, like, because I heard that game looks and runs pretty well on the Switch right now, and if they can get that on the current Nintendo Switch, I can't imagine what they could potentially do with other games coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, as if we're talking about the rumored performance of like PS4 Pro power and all of that, like using more modern technology, you can get games easily like Marvel's Spider-Man, and you can get games like God of War, and I'm not saying like those games specifically are going to come, but I'm just saying like to that level of like detail and fidelity, those types of games can definitely run on the next generation Nintendo system. So imagine like the third party like Resident Evil ports, and imagine like Elden Ring and stuff like that, which can actually come to the Nintendo Switch 2. And I feel like that's going to be the type of impressive stuff that you're really going to see with that next system. But yeah, overall, I feel like this acquisition was definitely pretty nice. It doesn't seem like it was anything crazy, and Nintendo doesn't seem to be trying to do any big moves at acquiring some huge studio either. So I feel like this is definitely something that they feel like is going to be pretty helpful. I see the vision. I feel like it could be helpful with porting games to the Nintendo Switch 2 and everything. So I'll let them cook, and I'll let them see like what they're able to come up with and how useful the studio really is and how good this acquisition is for Nintendo. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel, as well as I'm definitely going to have some more Nintendo videos, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you guys think about all of this. How do you guys feel about this acquisition? Have you guys heard of Shiver Entertainment before? Do you guys think that they're going to help Nintendo with getting some good games on the Nintendo Switch 2? How do you feel about everything? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about this, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.